Previously on Dark Souls 1.
It's Dark Souls.
Right to it.
Drops. Have fun having infrastructure as.
And now, the conclusion. Welcome back. After obtaining the Lord's Soul, we have the ability to teleport between selective bonfires. Now, the big question. Where do I go? I know I can resurrect a certain someone from the dead, so this bonfire actually works. After that, the only thing I know to do is start exploring. It's time to head back to Demon Ruins. Alright, how do I get there again? If I was a smart man, I could have gone through the Valley of Drakes to get to the bottom of Blighttown and then to the ruins. However, I wasn't smart. Instead, I took the long way. After battling through the entirety of Blighttown again, it was time for pain. I will admit this. I had to look up what to do. As it turns out, you have to wake this guy up so he can transfer you to this place, so you can place the Lord's Soul on this altar and have the way forward revealed to you. In this cutscene, we can see 3 different places open up. One in Anor Londo, one in Demon Ruins, and one in... Anyways, let's go to Anor Londo. That's a bore. Hopefully it won't bore me to death. The Duke's Archives. The welcome committee here is great. They even destroy their own property in celebration. This place is interesting. It has to be one of the most designed places in this half of the game. However, it is still genuinely one of my favorite ones. The reason is not because it's fun, but because it's funny. If you haven't seen an enemy around the corner or haven't been shot at by someone across the area, you soon will be. Also featured is the staircase puzzle. I won't tell you how long it took me to realize that one lever switched both staircases. Luckily, it's mostly optional, unlike some things. Go up this one left and you'll find Crystal Man. He's one of the few smart NPCs that can parry you. Even more than that, he can actually turn around quickly. Unfortunately, this is still Dark Souls 1. He isn't perfect. If you make it past him, you'll be gloriously rewarded with an unwinnable boss fight. That's right, you have to die for the game to progress. And you get put in jail for your effort. Unfortunately, this establishment is not run well. They forgot to take away my club. When you escape, the smallest snake man in existence pulls a lever to release the What in the world do you call these? In turn, that makes several guards try to escape by climbing up a ladder to a locked door, meaning that they would be trapped here until someone killed the snakes, which they are afraid of, or someone will have to unlock the door. A very well designed place. By the way, this only happens once. If you die and come back, the snakes just all sit in their cell. After I escaped the dirty dungeon and my own paranoia, I found myself in the field of random anthropomorphic crystals. Why? I don't know. I may have to do something with the mysterious and ginormous crystal cave. But before I get there, I want to do something. I need to fight this guy at the entrance of the depths to obtain the large ember. You know, the thing that lets you upgrade your weapons past level 5. That's right, up until now I've been using suboptimal tools. It's time for a change for the better, aka Demon's Great Axe. The upgrade is great, just like the plummet of my sanity as we entered the crystal cave. As you may have guessed, I'm not a fan. Sure, the moonlight butterflies everywhere are optional, but so is the ground. That's right, there are invisible platforms highlighted by falling dandruff. Not to mention, there's also some surfaces that look walkable but are just slides in disguise. I think you might know my #1 cause of death here. I feel like I'm a rat in an invisible maze that punishes you with terminal velocity. However, if you can find the hidden pathways, you'll get to exact some revenge. Seath the Scaleless is a large boss, therefore it is not hard to kill. Oh wait, so apparently he's invulnerable until you destroy this clone thing. Sure. Anyways, he is not hard to defeat. All you have to do is run at this one tentacle and you become unhittable. Seath's turning speed is just about as fast as my internet. The level was harder than the actual boss. Now that I have the strength of a hammer on my side, it's time to go back to Demon Ruins. Despite my damage increase, they still do a lot of damage. Man, I died. I'm just gonna pause my recording until I get back to where I was. So, you may be wondering, how did I get here? Well, I may or may not have forgotten to press record again and went through an entire boss. This is him. This is the rating. I didn't die to him once. Luckily, he is immediately followed up by another boss. The centipede demon is just a little bit different than every other boss. The music is a bit creepy. It's a bit creepy. Its limbs detach. Oh yeah, there's lava everywhere. Unfortunately, he still suffers the curse of being large. I honestly almost killed him on my first try. However, he has a move that one-shots me. But if I avoided that, he's a dead demon. Well, at least it's interesting. Taking a few steps away from him, you'll just find more lava. But you're actually meant to travel over it. That's right, to progress you literally need to walk on lava. The only way to do that without turning into a rotisserie chicken is with a special ring. A motif that shows up a little too often in this game. Now molten rock is a mere suggestion to myself and a minor inconvenience to my armor's durability. Welcome to Lost Islith, home to dinosaurs, to fire-breathing statues, and conveniently placed roots? Thank you, random plants. Now, there isn't a lot to say about this place. That's because the designers may have been in a small rush to finish this area, plus I really didn't look around. After all, this place is just the preamble to the most unfun boss in existence. However, there's this funny pit. I feel like they placed this here for laughs and giggles. I don't care about the poison floor, but I do care about the strange bottomless pit and the strange alien cups. If you're able to put two and two together, you may see where I'm going with this. Well, I've had my fun. It's time for that to be taken away from me by the bed of chaos. You see, you don't fight the bed of chaos, you fight the developers. This could be called a puzzle boss, and boy do I feel like I'm missing pieces. The goal is simple: destroy the two glowing orbs, then kill the boss. The first orb is extremely easy, then everything goes insane as it gains the mystical ability to get rid of the floor. That works well with its arms that act like brooms. You will most likely die here. A lot. Did I mention that it takes a solid 40 seconds to a minute to run all the way back so you can die instantly? I believe I spent more time trying to get to the boss than actually doing it. If you destroy the second orb, the boss will become a lot harder. You have to charge straight forward while trying not to get hit by the sweeper hands. Even then, you have to try not to die by fire pillars. I rate this entire experience -5 out of 5. It's not hard to see why that's the most infinite boss in the entire series. I think this should be probably classified as a form of torture. From here, there's only one other place I didn't explore, at least to my knowledge. It's time to go from the brightly lit to the deep down dark, New Londo. Last time I was here, I ran away in fear because these ghosts are invulnerable, unless you are cursed or use the transient curse. When I hit them, I destroy them in one hit. It kind of get rid of the fear factor. Never mind, I'm not afraid of them, it's just that now I dislike them with a passion. Enemies unbothered by close quarters geometry makes for unfun ambushes. Man, this would be an inopportune time for the curse to wear off. You know, it would be helpful if I bound this to my hotbar. Unfortunately, the curse doesn't prevent lightning damage. After releasing the seal that lowers the room's water level, we can now progress to the notorious Dark Knights that have a nasty command grab. Man, I sure hope they don't have any large combos that can kill me. This is just a pit. It just kills you. Apparently to fight the area's boss, you need to be able to abyss walk, which you can only do if you have a certain ring. You know, the one I don't have. I obtained this information from the internet because, the game was not going to tell me. To get the thing, we need to head back to Darkroot Garden and through the backstabbing NPCs. They can't catch me if I don't stop running. Oh look, it's a dog with a knife. The Great Grey Wolf Sif is exactly what you think it is. It's a dog with a sword, it's not complicated. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Something tells me I should have fought this guy 20 levels ago. The worst part of this fight is when he gets to low health. No, Sif does not get a new phase. He actually just starts limping and attacks slower and barely does any damage to you. It's so sad. I know this good boy is just protecting this grave, but why did they have to make me feel so guilty? This part is mandatory to beat the game. Just don't look. I give the boss 3 out of 5. However, the developers get a 0 out of 5 for making me do this. Alright, you Abyss, you made me fight a dog to get here. I'm not gonna let you off. I can't see. Why do I hear boss music? The Four Kings is a fight that secretly acts as a DPS check, because the longer you stay here, the more of them spawn. For some reason, melee builds have an easier time here. They barely do any damage to you when you're up close. Just look out for the command grab. It will absorb any humanity you have, you know, if I ever use any. Very easy because of a strength build. 3 out of 5 because I like the boss's design. Very edgy. With that, we have 2 out of the 3 Lord Souls we need. Where is the third? I don't know. I genuinely have no idea where the last area could be. My only idea was to fight this dragon with a composite bow and many heavy arrows. It led to nowhere. Once again, I have no choice but to look up where to go. Apparently, this entire time there is a staircase in the graveyard in the Firelink Shrine. I never saw it, or even would have suspected there would be one here. Peak game design. This is the Catacombs. Another dark area, but now with skeletons. Wait, why is it back up? Why aren't they dying? This is the entire gimmick of this place. Skeletons are unkillable unless you defeat these dudes. This makes this place one large game of hide and seek. Skeletons unkillable, then one of these guys must be near. Rinse, repeat, you get the idea. Oh look, Cthulhu's skeleton. Alright then, I'll just be on my way. Bone wheels! No way! The most ridiculous enemy I have ever seen. They may be killing me right now, but I still receive a hit of the happy seeing their ridiculous locomotion. Ah yes, pinwheel. I think I see the mechanic here. So, that was a boss. From here we head to even darker areas. Thankfully I have a lamp. Okay. This is the Tomb of the Giants. It's also my tomb. You can probably already tell what's going on here. The whole idea is not being able to see what's coming. Like the big skeletons, a certain recurring character that kicks me down a hole, skeleton towers, former NPCs that turn hollow, the pit of many bone-crushing creatures, and this. I don't like this one. They could just kill you if they feel like it. Alright, it may look like I've only been here for a couple seconds, but I've already had enough of this place. There is enough calcium here to last me a lifetime. Oh, Pinwheel's back, and it brought a baby army with it. If this was just a one-off section with a bonfire after it, I would be completely fine with this area. It's a mix of finding cover from fireballs and continuously moving to prevent yourself from being cornered. Really fun mixture. However, it is not a one-off. You have to go through this area as well as 40 more seconds of travel if you want to face off against the boss of this area. Therefore, I dislike this place with its fiery artillery and infantry. It is a non-optional mini-boss before the main attraction, Grave Lord Nito. This cadaver bone mass fights sturdy as he has his own undying minions that constantly chase after you. If you ever try to run away, you will face even more of his cranky crew. Therefore, you are forced to stay in this small area as Nito slowly and carefully approaches you. And then he sometimes screams. However, when he gets close to you, the fight becomes a dance between avoiding his attacks, the skeleton crew, and the wave of death. I refuse to learn how to avoid that last one. Balance all these things and you'll get the final Lord Soul. With all 3 souls, the door opens on the final track of this journey. I have come so far and fought so many stupid mechanics to get here. I won't stop until all of this is over. After a little bit of upgrading, it's time to end it all. Gwyn, the Lord of Cinder, is a true final boss as you have to be careful with every move you make. A dance of life and death as you dodge his multi-hit combos and you look for an opening to strike. Failure to do so will cause you to get stun-locked if you don't have enough poise to withstand the onslaught. It's a beautiful battle that the other games build off of. A tense struggle to know when to defend and when to attack. That is if you decided to fight him head on. If you watched the last video, you know that I like to find ways to make fights as easy as possible. As it turns out, I could get a guaranteed hit-in when he does this lunge attack. As long as I abused the terrain and stayed as far away from him as possible, it was fairly easy to take him down for good. However, part of me didn't want to, I just wanted to listen to this music more. With him gone, I had the option to link the flame. However, I have a whole revenge tour planned, so let's return to the previous bonfire. Wait, why didn't I teleport out? Oh well, I guess I'll just hoof it back. Ooh. So, as it turns out, you are locked into choosing an ending if you defeat Gwen. And I didn't know that. So darkness reigned upon the land for the rest of time. Then immediately, New Game Plus started. Well, that cancels my revenge tour. There is no way I am going through all of this again just to fight a few people. So this is where the journey ends. All in all, I was glad I played this game. However, I would rank it low on the list of Soul games. It's a product of its time. The enemies were easy to exploit and the various mechanics were very rough around the edges. The first half felt alright, but then I could feel the developers rush to get that last half done as levels were shorter and bosses were a bit more unpleasant to deal with. I would not recommend that this would be the first Souls game you play. However, I would still say that it is an interesting game if you want to witness the beginnings of this franchise. That is all I have left to say, my friends. Make sure to do all those YouTube things everyone else asks you to do, and remember, don't go hollow out there.